Welcome to the Designer's Room, where we go beyond the lash line. My name is Uni, and I am a lash designer, mentor, as well as mother. I'm super excited to have you guys here today to talk. I take connection extremely seriously. So I'm really just honored to have you in this space with me. So on today, I guess we just dive right into the topic at hand. I want to talk about why I started mentorship and where that idea came from. So for me, I think being within the lash industry and hearing consistent concept of going to a training and feeling still are self-taught or not having that guidance that you felt like you were going to gain from investing in a training is something that happens consistently. And it's scary to think that if you line 10 lash artists up and ask them, was your first training impactful to your career? Maybe 8 out of 10 of them will say, no, I've had to go on YouTube to go learn, or I've had to teach myself how to do the things that I thought I was investing in for someone else to teach me. So I think that disconnect there, and also realizing that the world is the world and people advertise trainings all the time and they're not really going to put in the passion necessary to make sure you are giving out transformations rather than just here's this, boom, whether you get it or not, whatever, I did my job, I'm backing away. So knowing that people will sell whatever so they can make like a quick buck is still a thing, and we should not look over that at all. But also really dissecting the structure of what a training is. A training, you're going to meet with your instructor for 2 days, maybe 1 day, 1 to 5 days, and you're expecting a trainer to teach you everything that they know with their X amount of years of experience within that time frame, with you to have enough confidence to leave that training and go ahead and pursue whatever industry it is that you're in. And we're going to talk now the lash industry. I think just the structure of trying to teach something that it took you so long to master in the span of just a couple of days is pretty unrealistic. I think it's a concept that when people started to do lash trainings, that the way people learn, the way people grasp information, that concept was completely lost. Even in school, you don't just learn addition and then the next day you're like, oh, on to subtraction, that's it. There's a lot of nurturing whatever it is that you're being taught over time. And that's where I seen the opportunity to make an impact. Mentorship is a way that I'm able to pour into an individual over time. For instance, you can have a plant, right? And if you pour water into it once and you walk away from it in the next 2 weeks, do you expect it to really blossom into this huge, beautiful plant? No, the thing is, like, you have to nurture it. You have to nourish it consistently to get to where you want it to be. I'm going to water you for 1 day. I'll water you for 1 day, sprout up and go and produce flowers or whatever the case may be. No, it takes over time. And it's not like that same example. It's not like you taking a plant and you're like, oh, I'm just going to pour so much water into it on this 1 day that it's going to bloom and blossom. It's just, no. You pour too much at one time, you run the risk of oversaturating and killing whatever it is, right? So if we take a step back and we see people as individuals that need nourishment in a tender type of way, that's where mentorship comes in, and it is actually more productive and more suitable for people rather than just a one-off training. Like mentorship, and this is why I say a minimum of 3 months with my mentorship, because I can ensure that at least after the 3-month mark, I can guarantee you that a transformation will happen. It takes 21 days to form a habit, or whatever the case may be. Our brains are not structured to just retain information in a short amount of time. It takes accountability and repetition. And mentorship allows me to have that connection with people to ensure that nourishing them will indeed contribute to an actual transformation within them. So one of the reasons I decided to do mentorship, because I was able to touch more people in a genuine way, going that route, opposed to just here's some ebooks, here's trainings and all that other stuff. I still sell ebooks because they are valuable to those who learn in a way where I can go ahead and look at a piece of paper and look at a lash map as well as the video tutorial attached and be able to pick up where I can and put in the footwork to transform my artistry in that way. That is still very much so alive. And that's the reason why I make my ebooks extremely detailed, because I don't have connection with you. I don't have the ability to get on the phone with you and be like, did you do this week? Here are these assignments. Like, this is what we can do. Or even get into your head about what's going on even outside of the lash space, because little do you know, and we may do a video on this later, that what you go through simultaneously while you're in your business definitely impacts how you show up in your business, and that shouldn't be lost. That's another area of mentorship. Like I said, that's reserved for another video we can get into, but through ebooks even, there's a limited amount of transformation that can happen. So I think that it's very important for that to not get lost, right? For the way that people connect and actually learn and retain material, we should always remember that. And that's the reason why I did mentorship in so many words. For me, I feel like the moment where this felt really meaningful for me, not saying that it just started to feel meaningful, because I've had so many people tell me their careers have been changed just by whether it's an ebook, a mentorship, whatever the case may be. I've had people genuinely, sincerely, with their full hearts let me know that what I've done has impacted them in a positive way. I hear that, and I've been hearing that. I had someone say that they were walking away from this experience feeling like a better person, a better woman, a better lash artist. It goes beyond just the lash line, like I said. And that's the moment where it was like, you're actually making an impact and a difference here in people's lives. You're allowing them to see themselves a lot greater than they did before you've had the interaction with them. That is a gift that God has given me, and I want to cherish it, and I want to be able to continue to make impact on other people in a organic and authentic type of way. To hear her say this to me, I was like, dang, what I'm doing is not lost. What I'm doing is actually purposeful, and people are enjoying it. I can leave this earth knowing that I am helping people beyond just the on the surface things. I know that God has a plan for me that is much greater than just lashing, and He's allowed me to now transition into a space to make true impact on people's lives. And that's definitely when I realized that this is much more meaningful than what I thought it was. Another thing like that I've learned about myself while doing this mentorship is that there's so much for me to learn too. I think being a mentor forces you to look at yourself in the mirror and really be honest with where you are as a creative, as a businesswoman. Little do like my mentees know this, I am learning from you guys just as much as you guys are learning from me. And I think that's a gift in itself that I'm so appreciative of. Another thing that mentorship has taught me is that a lot of people get in their own ways. And again, we may branch off in another episode for something like this, but the lack of confidence to really bet on yourself is literally, I see it almost in every single person. There is this lack of confidence to really just bet on yourself. And I like to call it getting in your own way. I see it a lot. And that's another reason why I feel like mentorship is so valuable, because you have someone along the side of you who believes in where you see yourself, even on the days where you don't feel as strong in that belief. And that right there, if I was to reflect back on my career, if I had a mentor just in life, but in the lash industry, that would make such a huge difference in the way I evolved. Maybe I would have evolved faster. Maybe I wouldn't have so much negative self-talk. And it's nice to have someone there who is literally telling you, hey, you're getting in your own way, one. And two, that voice that is so loud, that is trying to convince you that you do not belong in this space, that obnoxious voice, don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the smaller voice that is saying, but maybe it can be me. Well, maybe I can make a difference. Maybe my business can be X, Y, and Z. You can read all of the great self-help books. Yes, you can listen to the different podcasts or whatever the case may be. You can have a lot of distant inspiration, but it's different when you have someone alongside of you to really hold you accountable, not just for your techniques, but also for your mindset too. That was a bit of a tangent. As you guys will know, I tend to go on tangents when I talk because I talk a lot and there's a lot to touch on. So that's the number one thing, or one of the most important observations that I've had doing this thus far, is that a lot of people get in their own ways. And I always like to say, if you're going to fall forward, and when I say that, is falling forward means you're going to fail forward, fall forward, meaning that you're going to learn from whatever it is that you're failing at or falling at, right? And when you get back up, you're going to be ahead of where you used to be. That is just a golden rule and golden principle with anything that you put your mind to and set your heart on and you're trying to improve yourself in. You're always going to fall forward. So don't be afraid of falling. I think the greatest things in life take time, and I think transformations take time, and it's nice to have someone there who is able to help you mold into the person you see yourself becoming intentionally. So I hope that you were able to get more of an idea of why mentorship is a little bit more impactful than lash training, and where my heart is in this. And I feel like if this resonated with you, please leave a comment, share, subscribe even. I never thought I'd see myself on YouTube. I never thought I'd see myself podcasting in this way. Never thought I'd seen it, but God has brought me here. And I am extremely grateful if you sat down and watched this entire video. Oh my gosh, wanted to hear from me. Please, if you want to see more videos like this, if you have any topics that you would like me to touch on, leave it all in the comments. I'm going to read each and every comment. Share, subscribe. See you next time in the designer's room, where we go beyond the lash line.